Today, we take a look at a fascinating trend sweeping across the globe. It's something the mainstream media seems oddly reluctant to talk about. National populism is on the rise. And let's just say the globalists are not taking it well. They're being unceremoniously shown the door. It's quite a sight. You're going to love it. Let's get into it. Hey, before we get into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you never miss another truth that the mainstream media is trying to bury. Okay, take Christopher Luxon, the new Prime Minister-elect of New Zealand. Remember Jacinda Ardern? He turned COVID management into what some might call a totalitarian art form, reminiscent of some rather unsavory historical regimes, to put it lightly. But Luxon, he's singing a different tune. The night he was elected, he said, and I quote, "On election night, I said that we'd listened to the public and heard a call for a better New Zealand. New Zealanders want change that makes our lives easier. We want change that improves our opportunities. We want change that makes this great country even better." He sounds like Trump. The new coalition government of National Act and New Zealand First will be stable, effective, and will deliver that change. Folks, they are excited, they're pumped, and they're ready to get to work. Isn't that refreshing? Then we have Javier Milei, the newly elected president of Argentina. This guy doesn't pull any punches when it comes to socialism. And why should he? Socialism, as history has it, time and time again, it isn't exactly known for its gentle touch. Give this a watch on some of the things he says.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un
Calls them
milímetro.
leftards and libtards. Look at this. Can you define shit leftists? Because he called them shit leftists.
¿Puedes definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos
lo
los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas,
All collectivists. That's what communists are. The socialists, the communists, same thing, different name. They're all collectivists.
los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea. A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Why do you call them shit?
porque son una
Because they are shit.
mierda. O sea,
Pero vos mezclás-
no,
pero eso-
es que
eso
si
es
pensás,
pero no, pero digo,
pero
eso
si
es
pensás distinto
descalificador.
te van a aniquilar.
You see what he's saying? They will kill you. This is the point. This is why I love this guy. This guy wants to remove socialism from Argentina. And the socialists are upset about it. Well, too bad, because he won. He gets to run the policies there now. National populism, Argentina first. Okay, if we move over to Europe, we now have Geert Wilders in the Netherlands. He's another one to watch. It's clear that a substantial portion of the Dutch population is tired of the same old, same old. He was just elected Prime Minister of the Netherlands. And he said recently that he has enough to form a coalition government. And his popularity came forward because of his stance against the unfettered immigration from so-called refugees from the Middle East. He is only saying what everybody else in Europe, in Western Europe, is complaining about and thinking. Just give a listen to some of what he's saying.
zijn dus niet een paar rotte appels die
So he's saying, so it's not just a few rotten apples who make the other Muslims look bad.
het voor de rest van de moslims verpesten. Hou op
I say to the PM, stop pushing that nonsense fairy tale.
met het verkondigen van dat onzinsprookje, zeg ik tegen de premier.
That this is a large majority of 700,000 Muslims out of 900,000 who reject our free society. Folks, you can thank Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton for this, because you remember in the Middle East when they had that so-called Arab Spring, which was no Arab Spring. It was more like a declaration of we're going to take over the West, because that's exactly what they did. They moved out of the Middle East and went up through Greece and started going across Europe. And the European countries let them in with open arms, and then found out that the overwhelming majority of them did not want to assimilate into their culture, but expected the host country to assimilate to their culture. I mean, for goodness sake, in Sweden, I think they had to do classrooms for newly arriving Muslims to teach them that it's not polite in Western culture to go around raping women. They literally had to do that. So it's no wonder that Geert won in the Netherlands. I mean, he's just saying what everybody's been feeling. All right, Giorgia Meloni in Italy was recently elected prime minister. She has a very interesting take. She believes in the fundamentals: family, borders, and controlled immigration, like Italy first. Who's that sound like? Pretty radical, right? Let's not forget Viktor Orban in Hungary. He's a staunch defender of his country's borders and a proponent of legal immigration. Again, who does that sound like? That's a concept that's apparently fallen out of fashion among the globalists. So what's driving this surge in national populism? Well, it seems pretty clear. People are fed up. They're tired of being told by the globalist elites that they need to sacrifice for their way of life. For what exactly, though? What do they get for their sacrifice? For the whims of the unelected boards like the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization? No, thank you. People aren't stupid. They recognize a bad deal when they see one. They know when their government is lying to them, and they're making their voices heard. The Marxists in the globalist camp like to call the national populism right-wing populism, as if it's derogatory. They're claiming derogatorily that national populism is a political ideology that combines right-wing politics and populist rhetoric and themes with anti-elitist sentiments, opposition to the establishment, and speaking to or for the common people. Well, fuck yeah. At least they got the definition right. So what does this all mean? Well, it's hard to say. But one thing's for sure. For the future, the political landscape is shifting, and it's not shifting in the direction that the globalists had hoped. Folks, what's going on around the world is called deglobalization. It's a movement towards a less connected world characterized by powerful nation states, local solutions, and border controls rather than global institutions, treaties, and unrestricted movement. Plus, there's the sovereignty thing. The globalists love to give up sovereignty of the people who they're supposed to represent because they don't lose their personal sovereignty. It gives them power to remove sovereignty. The liberals got it wrong in 2016, claiming that Trump's America First movement meant America alone. No world leader who uses the America First model means that. What they mean is that their government will take care of their own country first and foremost, and then after all has been satisfied for the homeland, they will then worry about other people in other countries that have nothing to do with them. And they don't want to drain on their people's resources by having open immigration policies. So what happened here is the globalists, or the communists, if you will, they went too far during COVID. All politicians running executive branches, it seems, around the world allowed their inner authoritarian dictator to show. That's when they created rules out of thin air without any legislature giving them the authority to do so. Government globalism has not brought prosperity to America, and so I figured that about 100 million Americans, probably more at this point, are sick and tired of it. And the more they talk about national populism as an answer to globalism, the more newcomers join the movement. It's unstoppable. But don't think for a minute that the communists in this country are going to stop trying to force it to remain as the status quo. I think the DC dipwads are going to realize real soon that, like people in the other countries around the world, the American voters will no longer accept being treated like they are serfs. Our system was designed under a constitutional republic where the people elect representatives who are supposed to represent their wishes. That ended decades ago, and most politicians no longer give a damn about fulfilling promises they made on the campaign trail. Well, I think that national populism is even stronger now than it was before. I mean, look at Trump. Every time he gets indicted, his popularity goes up. All right, again, make sure you subscribe to our channel and share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed with what's really going on. Stay informed, stay vigilant. Always remember, read between the lines and the lies. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.
Everybody out in the world, stop messing around. Calling all you freaks and nerds, you're just missing what you want. My brother's going down the drain, my sister's living the dream.